If you have followed some of my earlier short videos on the weighted average cost of capital, you might be dying to do a more realistic example. Today, you are in luck because we are going to do one past exam question. My name is Dr. John Yamunda, and today we are going to do a question from year 2021. If you look at a past exam question like from 2021, it is an intimidating question because it's a long question. But actually, if you break it step by step, you'll find that it is not really intimidating because you will need to just follow 3 steps, not more than that. So the first step will be to find the market value of each financing type. The market value of ordinary shares, preference shares, debentures, and bank loan. We've already done that in previous short videos, and I'm sure you got that correct. The second step will be to determine the net cost of each financing type. We've already done that. We've already found the financing cost of ordinary shares using the dividend discount model, and also the costing of ordinary shares using the capital asset pricing model. Costing of preference shares is easy. Debentures, we've already found the cost of debentures is easy. Bank loan is easy. Once you found the costing and you find the market value, then the rest is just multiplying and adding. This is going to be a longer discussion, but we're going to do it as quickly as we can. So we are going to cover a question from May 2021, from an exam which was written in May 2021. Let's quickly read through it. The directors of Relax Limited have appointed you as their financial consultant. They are considering new investment projects and need you to calculate the cost of capital for the company. The present capital structure is as follows: 10 million ordinary shares with a par value of 375. These shares are currently trading at 22 Rand 50 per share. Latest dividend is 1 Rand 50 and average dividend growth is 18%. 7.5 million, 16%, 15 Rand preference shares with a market value of 25 Rand. 10 million non-distributable reserves, 4 million, 14% debentures due in 4 years. And the current yield to maturity is 12% and 4.5 million, 11% bank loan. Additional information. The company is a beta of 1.9, a risk-free rate of 9%, and the return of the market is 13%. The company's tax rate is 28%. What is required? 2.1. Calculate the weighted average cost of capital using the capital asset pricing model to calculate the cost of equity. 20 marks for that. Calculate the adjusted weighted average cost of capital using the Gordon growth model as cost of equity. 5 marks for that. So this question, if you master it, if you get 100%, you are already a quarter of the total marks you need in the exam. 25 out of 100. You are only 25% there. So what do we do? Remember, we said we are going to follow the 3-step approach. The 3-step approach, you first find the valuation. Second, find the individual costing. The third, then you calculate the weighted average cost of capital. This looks intimidating, but if you break the question into those steps, it becomes very simple. And in this example, I have color-coded it. So yellow is ordinary shares. So what is the value of ordinary shares? We are saying 10 million times 25. Remember, times 25, not 375, 22.5, because that's the market value. Gives you that number. 7 million preference shares in blue times 25. Remember, 25 is the market value, gives you 187.5 million. Debentures a little bit complicated. We are going to say the maturity value of debentures is 4 million. You are told there. But the interest being paid is 560. It's 14% times 4 million gives you 560,000 per year. So how do we find the present value or the market value of debentures? We use the present value interest factors of annuity and an amount. Where do we find these numbers? We go to the back of our module, like here. If you go to the back of your module, you find two tables. Table number 1, which is the present value interest factor of an amount. Therefore, you look for 12%, which is the yield to maturity in 4 years. Where they meet, you see 0.6355. That's the factor you use against the 4 million. If you go to table number 2, you find it's the present value interest factor of an annuity. Then you go again to 12%, where it meets 4 years. You see 3.0373. Those are the factors you are going to see here. And if you multiply those two factors, you get that 4.242888. Loan in red, line number 13, you do nothing. If you add everything, you get this big number. That is the total financing of this business. Step number 1 is completed. So you go to step number 2, which is the valuation. Let's move this thing to the side there. How do we find the cost, individual cost? So we are told here to calculate the weighted average cost of using the capital asset pricing model to calculate the cost of equity. The capital asset pricing model, if you remember, is equals to risk-free plus beta, open brackets, return from the market minus risk-free. Where do you find all this information? That's easy, my friend. Let's place this thing here. Our risk-free is given here, 9% in line number 15. You put your 9 there. Beta is given here, you put your 1.9 there. Times, return from the market is 13, you put your 13 there. Minus risk-free, which is 9, gives you 16.6. Let's go to the cost of preference shares. Preference shares, you are told, line number 10, you are told that it's 16%, 15 rand preference shares. So every year the dividend on preference shares is 16% of 15 is 2.4, 2 rand 40. Therefore, the cost of dividend is equal to 2 rand 40 divided by 25, which is the market price. Remember, it's divided by market price, which gives you 9.6. Debentures, straightforward, my friend, it's 12% times 1 minus 0.28. Where are we getting 1 minus 0.28? You might ask. Remember, the company tax rate is 28%. Remember, from a broader discussion, we said debt is a before tax expense. So we need to take tax off the cost of debt. Therefore, 1 minus tax is equal to 0.7. So we say 12 times 0.72 gives you that. The loan is the same. 11 times 0.72, 7.2. You are almost there, my friend. Let's remove here to find the capital asset pricing model. So simply this block here, line number 15K, or K15, cell number K15, which is a long block. It's simply, we are trying to say 225 times 16 plus 187 times 9.6 plus 4.2 times 8 plus 4.5 times that. So if we add all that, it gives you 13.3111, that number. 20 marks in your bag. Can you believe it? But since you want to get a distinction, you also need these last 5 marks. You can't leave anything to chance. Okay, so calculate the adjusted weighted average cost of capital using the Gordon growth model for the cost of equity. So everything else remains the same. The only thing which is changing is the cost of equity. Now we are using the Gordon growth or dividend discount model. And you know, my friend, the dividend discount model is equals to D1 next dividend divided by the market price plus growth. If we go up a little to this yellow part for shares, our dividend, our latest dividend was 1 rand 50. We need to grow this 1 rand 50 to get, so this would be D0. We need to grow it by 18% to get to D1. So let's move this and put it somewhere here. So we say 1.5 times 1.18 to get to D1 divided by 22.15, which is the market price here, plus 0.18, which is the growth, gives you 25.87. The rest is still the same. We are still saying 225 times 25.87 plus 187 times that times that, 4.5 times that. This, the whole, everything else doesn't change. The only thing which is changing is this 225 times 25.87. And if you add all that, it gives you 18.2611. And 25 marks will be in the bag. Thank you for joining today's longer discussion on the weighted average cost of capital. Goodbye.